Good morning and welcome to a rather damp and drizzly day in the South Lakes. The Nissan Qashqai was this SUV that started the craze in the UK, first released in 2007. And this is from the original launch event in Newcastle, which was called Urban Challenge. And Nissan went all out. Well, it was going to be their next best-selling vehicle. It was. It's won Car of the Year multiple times. The thing is, it's damn good. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. This suits so many applications. Families, someone like me who enjoys chucking a mountain bike in the back, and with the all-wheel drives, you can even get off the beaten track. Now 4 million of these have rolled out of Sunderland since its inception in 2007. And since the introduction of e-Power 2022, 140,000, that's madness. Qashqai's always been a good looking SUV, but this really capitalises on that. Good morning, Jazz. Taking a look at the new Qashqai, are we? Enjoying the new facelift? They've even introduced 3 new colours, and just look at that two-tone. Mind you, that's always going to play into my wheelhouse. Qashqai is practical, it's versatile, and it won't break the bank. To think, a mild hybrid one of these starts at around 30 grand. That's not a lot of money for something like this. Not too much has changed. But if you look at the previous gen, it didn't really need to. This, well, capitalises on it massively. LED lights across the full range, a fully packed safety suite, and even things like high beam assist. Now you go for this, and you get things like adaptive lights, massage, and 20s. But it also has a price tag that matches that. This is around 43,000. Thing is, it doesn't have the mild hybrid engine, it has e-Power, a hybrid electric vehicle that you don't need to charge. It does all that in the background. Also, the way the powertrain works is rather sophisticated. The engine's not actually attached to the wheels. Surprisingly, it has a rather small engine, 1.53 cylinder, a 1.8 kilowatt hour battery, and decent electric motor. And the wheels are only ever driven directly by the electric motor, unlike traditional hybrids. This type of system means no gearbox, instant high torque, and a linear response. What about the engine then? Well, its sole purpose is to generate electricity via the inverter to either the 140 kilowatt electric motor or the 1.8 kilowatt hour battery, or both, dependent on driving scenario. And in a word, the system works exceptionally well. And it's even got a button for EV mode. The thing is, I never needed to use it. It's a rather intelligent system. But the bottom line is, it's fun, it's agile, and it's dynamic. And a better economy and a seamless drive. I really like new Qashqai. There's around 5 or 6 trims, and you can get anything from 2-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, manual to automatic, 3 different powertrains, 2 mild hybrid, and the e-Power that we've got here, the 190. So this is around 187 brake horsepower. Pulls 0 to 60 in 7.9 seconds. Now it is the quickest of the bunch, but to be honest, the mild hybrids, if that's what you're looking for, it's got enough power, and the economy's not bad either. But this, that's where it rules. They claim around 54 mpg, and we got around 60. As a ballpark, prices start at around 30,000 and go up to around 44,000. But for that, you can get pretty much anything you'd want on a vehicle. Now the previous I thought was a very attractive SUV. This though, it blows it out of the water. The thing is, it's not overdone in the slightest. It looks sleek, modern, dynamic. Insert buzzword here. I mean, its looks speak for themselves. Even the black Nissan badge, the sleek daytime running lights, the curvature of the bonnet, semi-clamshell. I'm also very fond of the Fuji Red. It's almost like an autumnal colour. And then add the two-tone with a pearl black roof. The whole ensemble just works magnificently. Vents here, and they do allow airflow. So look at this front splitter. Very cool. And it has changed since the previous one. They've de-chromed it, far more modern. The black gloss really makes it, and the shaping on the new grille, and the way that everything just toasts seamlessly to the centre. Mind you, am I surprised? No. Just look at Japanese design through the years. Now when it comes to safety and tech, this is all singing and dancing. And the standard across all trims is pretty damn amazing. Everything from collision detection through to mitigation, lane keep assist, traffic sign recognition, even things like high beam assist, and all vehicles have got LED lights. That's immense. Go for something like the Tekna Plus and you get adaptive lights, and it's a damn good system. Cameras and sensors all over this vehicle, including the brand new 360 system on this one and some of the other trims. You'd like some recognition. Power folding, heated door mirrors, not forgetting blind spot detection. From the side, well, just looks the part, doesn't it? Especially with the glossy cladding. Wrapping round 20-inch wheels, dependent on trim, 18 to 20. Now yes, with 20s the ride's not going to be quite as good as say it would be on 18s. However, it depends what you've been driving, because we've driven this on motorways, A roads, B roads, and it seems to be perfectly fine. I've read reviews where they say it bangs and clanks, and not in my experience anyway. And these are diamond cut, it's wrapped in Michelin. Decent space in the arches, and just look at that ground clearance. Good job they do an all-wheel drive. The thing is, there's still no e-power with all-wheel drive on the Qashqai. If you want that, you'll have to go for the X-Trail. Don't you think it just looks so sleek with the two-tone? And I think it's finished off rather nicely with polished metal roof rails. Take a look inside. Colour-coded door handles with keyless entry. The door opens nice and wide, and soft touches. And all this is new, so premium materials throughout. And we've got the Tekna Plus, meaning we get memory function on our seat. Climbing in, looks to be child's play. Decent opening and a grab handle. Excellent Nissan. So yeah, it hasn't changed much inside at all, but to be honest, it didn't really need to. And I spy a Bose premium sound system with a speaker housed here. Very nice. It's modern, but it still includes, I suppose, traditional functionality, rotaries, proper buttons. But on top of that, you've got digital screens. And look at the infotainment size and the digital cluster. Down here we've got a power tailgate. We can initialize our heads-up display. If you like this type of video, why not subscribe to the channel? You just hit the button on the right hand side. It's free and you'll get an alert every time we upload. Also, if you do like the video, why not give it a like? It all helps and it means we can get more cars. Thank you. Gotta love memory function and assisted steering. That's only available when you're using the cruise control, which is adaptive. Solid. Proper Nissan construction. Mind you, this is how they've built vehicles for years and years and years. And yes, we've got the premium interior. So quilted faux leather, plush, perforated. And just look at the support and bucketiness. Yeah, these are great for a long haul. And we can speak from experience. Yes, it is a dark interior, but because of the panoramic, it mitigates so much. It might have been nice to see a light headliner, but to be honest, it may have ruined the ambience. Soft touches throughout and an interesting mix of materials like this, all new. There are harder plastics, but they're a great grade. And just look at this one, it's like a carbon fibre glaze. It really lifts the interior. Padded areas here, so you've got somewhere to rest your knee. Cup holders, storage points, wireless charger, start stop button. If we look under here, a 12 volt. If you're looking for your USBs, you'll find them in here. I love a centre armrest, and it's just wide enough for Annabelle and myself. Something that really appeals on Qashqai is the tech doesn't overwhelm. The screen's not too big. Portrait or rotating screens may all be the rage nowadays, but this, no, it really suits. It's fast, it's responsive, it's full of functionality, including this time you've now got Google Assistant, Google Maps, and even Amazon Alexa. Satellite navigation, settings, camera, dual zone climate with proper rotaries and buttons. Same with the infotainment. I do like physical buttons. Thing is, they're all very nice and easy to reach too. Easy to use, and you can see we've got a heated windscreen and lots of shortcut buttons for things like angle of air. Heated seats with 3 levels and a heated steering wheel. Full digital cluster, very easy to read. On the left hand side you can see your power, so when you're using your electric motor and when it's regenning, and the blue depicts that. Very simple. You can see what gear you're in on the left hand side as well as driving mode, and you've got your battery level below that. In the center you can see anything from your media through to information about the powertrain. On the right hand side, speedo. In the bottom right corner, you can see what you're doing kilometers per hour. You can also see the range and petrol gauge, etc. Now, as we've got the Tekna Plus, we also get a heads-up display. I use that far more than the cluster because it means that I can just keep my eyes on the road. Now I've skipped right over the Bose system with the infotainment. It is immense, and it's even got a sub. My word, the bass, the mid and the treble. Electronic handbrake, auto hold, a rather smart little shifter, park, reverse, neutral and drive and brake, so if you want to increase your regen. Perfect for steep hills. Driving modes here. Auto park on this, E-pedal, one pedal driving, perfect for back lanes, and a proper EV button. I love the chrome surround, lovely footrest on the left hand side, and it's a rather elevated driving position. As we've got Tekna Plus, we've got electric seats, including electronic lumbar, height adjustment and massage. And that's on both seats. Reach and rake in the steering wheel with both armrests. Yes, this is perfect for the long haul. And headroom, I've got around 2 inches. Map reading lights, and this is where you open the blind for your panoramic. Nice to see that we've got adjustable seat belts, and I think that's your lot. Let's take a look in the back. And I almost forgot, you've got lovely mood lighting throughout the vehicle. And just look at the side profile, such a lovely silhouette, and that sloping roofline. And the mix of colours really make it. This really stands out. Like a unique design feature. Great stopping power, but it's no wonder when you notice that the front discs and rear discs are both vented. And don't get me started on the suspension system, multi-link. Let's take a look in the rear. And look at that for an opening door, 90 degrees. Wow. Climbing in, well, that looks simplicity. Soft touches once again, and premium materials, but sadly no heated rear seats. But it's good to see you've got door pocket. Absolutely no problem. Now, one thing that is lacking in here is the rear seats don't slide, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest. Also, reclining, there is none, sadly. That seems like Nissan missed a trick. But footroom and legroom, it's pretty good. And bear in mind, I've got this at a lavish setting for my 6'3" frame. Sat in this comfortable position. Headroom is perfectly ample at 6'3". I could have this a fair bit further forward, but there's only Annabelle and I in the vehicle. This is very nice, and it really makes it with the panoramic. Imagine Blackpool illuminations. And just look at my side window. Quilted leather once again. Comfortable supportive seats, not the bucketiest, but still pretty good. Pull down armrest in the centre with 2 cup holders, but no ski hatch. USBs in the centre and some vents. I've got a great view through the windscreen, and I do think this is raised. Dual map pockets, map reading lights and a grab handle above every door. It's very light and airy, even with the privacy glass, because we've got a little window here, and look at the size of the rear window. It is a bit dark with the blinds shut, but it's nothing to really write home about. Finally, ISOFIX points and airbags surround the vehicle. Let's take a look at the rear. The Qashqai's always had a pleasing rear end, and they've not really changed it. A few tweaks to the styling and also the layout of the lenses. But to be honest, it didn't need it. It matches the vehicle perfectly. The LEDs illuminate magnificently, and this colour was developed specifically for Nissan, and it means it stays true red without giving an orangey tint. Cross traffic alert, rear detection systems, parking sensors and a reversing camera. Sporty rear spoiler with high level brake light and a shark fin, and yes, a rear wiper. Let's take a look in the boot. Decent speed of opening, and considering we're parked on a hill, I can virtually stand under it, so on the flat, no problem. We can lock the power tailgate too, great to see. And, oh no, my arms. Safety, nice. Decent sized boot. It's not the biggest in its class, but to be honest, it's clever. With segment systems and extra storage under here. And if we lift the carpet, you can see a subwoofer and an inflation kit. Storage points on the left and right, and shopping bag hooks. We've got a light on the left and the right as well. And yes, proper tethering points anchored to the body. No boot lip, great to see. Month worth of shopping, absolutely no problem. And going on holiday, even a family holiday. You could even take out the floors and then have more height. Removing the parcel shelf, you just pull these off and they pop. And it lifts out. It's not the sturdiest of parcel shelves, but it does the job. No USB in the rear, but you do have a 12 volt. To drop the seats, push up this little latch here, and virtually flat loading area, immense. And not too many gaps either. No carpeting, but that looks perfect. And I should have absolutely no problem getting my EMTB in the rear, but I may have to remove the front wheel. But look at that, that is a big space. Let's take a look under the bonnet. Pull this lever here, and it's just once. To release, push left, and no struts. Nissan e-Power, 1.5 3-cylinder engine with an electric motor and a battery. And it's one heck of a powertrain. Very easy to see where you top up fluids. Let's see how it drives. Welcome behind the wheel of the new Qashqai. So this is the 3rd gen and a facelift. Under the bonnet we've got the e-Power powertrain. So a 1.5 3-cylinder engine coupled to an electric motor with a, I think it's about a 1.8 kilowatt hour battery. So yeah, you don't need to charge this. And I think this is the strongest powertrain in the Qashqai lineup. It's a great SUV, but it always has been. Well, that's it. It's practical, it's versatile, and other than that, it's a pretty good driving experience. It may not be the sportiest out there, but it can really hold its own on the B road. And it's not what you call wallowy either.
I was going to say, speaking as a passenger, you've got some body roll, but that's for comfort. It doesn't wallow at all, really. No,
you can push this into a bend and it'll just grip. Now it holds its composure extremely well. You couple that with a nice weighty steering experience, great feedback, and it's responsive too. But I suppose agility and dynamics have always been built into Qashqai. It's just they keep evolving it, so it just gets stronger and stronger. And acceleration's not bad either. 0 to 60 in 7.9 seconds. Economy, I think, is one of its greatest attributes, isn't it?
Yes.
The MHEV is around 40 to 44 to the gallon, whereas this is closer to 54.
I think it's that we knocked that out of the park, didn't we, Ben?
We really did. We were closer to, well, 60. And you know how I drive, so...
And at points we've got it higher.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did get it lower, but that comes with the territory. Yeah, well, I had to test its dynamics, didn't
exactly.
I?
And especially because it's got driving modes, boy, did you test them.
Well, it's a very balanced vehicle.
Yeah, because I just potted in it whilst you really put it through its paces.
Exactly. Now, the powertrain is very strong. I mean, you've got a pure EV mode, but 9 times out of 10 you don't need to use it. And if you go a certain speed, it will then say cannot support, and it will add the engine and the motor and whatever it needs to. But the thing that really stands out to me is if I put it in sport now, it'll just go. Whew. Been a few traffic light races, this one. Refinement. It could be better, but that way you could just fit 18s and then you get a higher profile tyre and you wouldn't have your 20s. But with me, it's a combo of the looks and the refinement. So this is my perfect balance. But if you do want it a little quieter in the cabin, then maybe go for the 18s. The thing is, as far as I'm concerned, it's not particularly loud. You get a little bit of wind noise off the big mirrors, but that's at, say, motorway speeds. But generally, it's pretty
good, isn't it? It's pretty good.
Clustered straightforward. You can see when you're regenning, putting power down, your speedo, lots of other information, and everything's nice and easy to reach. Let's move to safety. Well, substantial. Not surprising for Nissan. Everything from lane keep assist, lane departure warning, collision detection, mitigation system, sensors, cameras all over the shop. This is fully loaded, blind spot detection, and when it comes to your convenience too, things like adaptive cruise control, adaptive lights, and they are superb. The thing is, I don't want to give too much away.
Well, I think we've spent quite a lot of time in this car, haven't we?
Well, exactly.
Various adventures. So we've really gotten to know what makes this car tick.
Yeah, it starts at around 30 grand and goes up to about 43 for the one that we're in, so E-Tekna Plus. But we've got all the bells and whistles, as you've seen from the review.
I think we don't want to give it back.
On that note, if you want to know more about the driving experience,
take it for a test drive and come back and tell us what you thought.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and do enjoy the road trip.